Guess we got caught up with telling a lie. Now you're leaving me lonely. I could get in my car, end up drunk at some bar, but that was the old me. Remember the night that we slept on the floor and you told me you loved me. But you don't ever think about that. It's kinda like a light went off and now you're dead set on giving me up. Talking like we're so far gone and there ain't no use stitching it up. We could do the long haul, we could ride it out. I know the ride's rough, but try us. You're just thinking about tomorrow.
I'm on the road while you're waiting at home, and I swear I'll be right there. You'll find some man with no rock and roll band, and maybe you'll like that. Remember the lake when it started to rain, babe, and I just had you. But you don't ever think about that. It's kinda like a light went off and now you're dead set on giving me up. Talking like we're so far gone and there ain't no use stitching it up. We could do the long haul, we could ride it out. I know the ride's rough, but try us. You're just thinking about tomorrow.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Devan. Oh, my God. Look at that. Look at you guys. Two different compounds.
You know it, in the bunker.
That's a cool band when you have two different compounds.
By compounds, I think you mean our parents' house, but
Our parents'
Not quite as
basement.
Well, we can just pretend that it's a compound. Are you guys both in Toronto, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm in Toronto.
I'm just outside of Toronto, but yeah.
That's great. That's great. Andy, Devan, it's a pleasure to meet you guys. Let me introduce you guys to my audience really quick. You guys are part of Wild Rivers, ladies and gentlemen, Toronto-based band. So damn good. So damn good. Seamless guitar, steady percussion, vocal harmonies from Devan. It just mixes like a beautiful dish. Like
Thank
a perfect Tim Tam dessert connotation. It's hard to describe, but it's incredible.
Making me hungry.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And you're Vaughn Devan. That's a whole different stratosphere. But anyway. And look, everyone loves you guys. Rolling Stone Country, Ear Milk, Pop, the whole thing. So yada, yada, yada. You guys are awesome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do want to talk to you about your side projects, by the way, because those are also really sick for both of you guys. But let's start with this. Andy, let me ask you this. We're rounding up the corner on 2020. Finally, wild year for everybody. I feel like the year, I mean, there could still be a few surprises, right? I guess, but we kind of know what it was. How would you categorize 2020 for Wild Rivers, Andy?
I would say it feels like we're hibernating. It feels like we're in a cocoon and we're coming up with new songs and we're gonna leave this year like butterflies with a bunch of new music, and it's gonna be a lot better. Right now, it doesn't feel the greatest, but it's allowed us to stock up on a lot of new music and reflect and write a lot. So I think we're gonna come out of it for the better.
Yeah. What do you think, Devan?
Yeah, I think it's been a year of reflection for us and for the whole world, really. It's definitely been good for us to kind of like slow down and like readjust and realize what's important to us, because our first few years of being a band was just like go all the time, and it's like so easy to get caught up in that schedule and kind of take it for granted. Like there's so many times that we'd be on tour and we'd be like, oh my god, like we're so exhausted, and just like now we would give anything to be on tour. So I think it's been good for me, at least, to just like appreciate what we do and the people that help make it happen, and kind of use that moving forward, and just kind of try and be more intentional and more grateful.
Yeah. But Devan, you bring a good point. I actually, and now that you mention it, people this year have been like really well rested. Like I can't remember the last time I saw someone like just like looking like shit. Really, you know what I mean? Like you guys have great skin. You guys look amazing. Devan changed her hair color of the month. It's all great, man. You know.
I know it's been fun. Fun for that. It's good for the body. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Devan, let me ask you this question. Obviously, you've told this story a million times, but for my audience, when you met with Khaled, right, in Kingston, how did you guys meet? How was that? How did the whole thing start?
So pretty much, we were both students at a place called Queen's University, which is in Kingston, about 3 hours from Toronto. And we were both individually just playing around Kingston and playing on campus and trying to get involved in music however we could, but we weren't studying music. So I think we were both looking for people to collaborate with since it wasn't like a huge music scene there. Mm-hmm. And our mutual friend introduced us, and we got together and we just started playing kind of covers and singing together, harmonizing and just like having fun with it. And then eventually we started playing shows around our town, and people started coming, and we were like, oh, cool. Like, I guess people like this.
I guess we don't suck. Yeah.
We don't suck. So yeah, we built up a little bit of a fan base there. And then I think that is what gave us the confidence to want to become a full band and go in and record an album. And then when we left, we met Andrew and our drummer, and we became a band and we recorded our album, and that's the first and only album that we have out. And that's kind of how it all got started.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to ask Andy about that in a second, but one more thing, Devan. So when No Ribbons came out, it kind of like it was kind of a home run, right? Like Best New Artist in the CVC Searchlight contest, a bunch of stuff, bunch of buzz. Was it exciting, like validating that period for you guys?
Yeah, it was really, really cool because, well, it was also such an interesting time because this was 2015 and Spotify didn't come to Canada, at least, or North America, maybe even till 2015. So there wasn't really that strategy of just like trying to get Spotify playlists. So we were just kind of figuring it out as on the fly, just being like, how do we make people listen to this? We know we have this like small loyal fan base, but how do we get them to share it? And then luckily the CBC contest came along, and we were just like hustling for our friends and family to listen to it. And then playing on the Toronto radio is kind of what made our names get out there a little bit. And I think that was like huge for our confidence as musicians, just like being able to have that kind of industry support at the beginning. So yeah, we were really excited at the time.
Definitely. Andy, and tell us obviously how you came into the equation, but I do want to ask you, just sidestepping, Devan brought up different interesting point about Spotify, Andy. In 2015, like it was like a different thing, right? Like, so Andy, I want to ask you, right, with Night Shift, for example, like is it like it's this whole game of getting in playlists of like, basically if you're on iTunes nowadays, you're like an old fuck. It's like, what the hell? It's like, what's happening with the world, right?
Yeah.
So is it a lot to just, as an artist, to have to keep up with all this like algorithms and mechanisms nowadays?
It's definitely a lot of like reading about that stuff and learning that stuff, but I think us as a band, we're also interested in that side of it, and it's we talk about it a lot, and it's really cool to see how there's different tactics and stuff you can do to kind of play the game and try and make it work in your favor. But it's totally weird and always wild to see like any sort of big number on there doesn't really feel real until we play in person and can see the people in the audience.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so obviously, Khaled and Devan were doing their thing. How did you come into the equation, Andy?
So I grew up in the same hometown as our original drummer, Ben, and we played in a band together in high school. And then he went to university with Devan Khaled, and he was kind of telling me about them during summer breaks and stuff. I'd ask like what's going on in the music scene up there and stuff, and he kind of had seen them a few times. And then when they needed a drummer, they got Ben, and then Ben introduced me to them. And it was just really for one show initially. But then
Andrew was originally our bass player too, which is funny.
Really?
yeah, it just came on to play bass. Like just thought it was gonna be like a 2-week thing. We'll practice and play this one show, but here we are like 6 years later.
Long
Haven't touched bass
practice.
in a while either.
That's great. How do you guys realize, like, okay, like Andy, this guy Andrew is a keeper. He's not like we're vibing. We have that energy. How does that happen, Devan?
I actually remember the exact moment that we met. We were at a rehearsal studio in like Mississauga, which is near where Andrew and Ben grew up. And I remember I was kind of nervous because it's like, even though we weren't like committing to anything in the moment, it is kind of a pressure to be expected to just like jive with someone immediately. But as soon as you got there, I think we all just got along super well, and we just really liked Andrew, and didn't know if he was up for being in a band full time, but luckily he was.
Yeah, I mean, look at Andrew. What a nice guy. Who wouldn't want to be in a band with that guy? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So, Devan, let me ask you this. You take a song as beautiful as, like, I don't know, Wandering Child, just to pick one, which is just so perfect in every way. And it got me thinking, like, how do you guys avoid the overproduction that is happening today, the Pro Tools, the synthesizer, some of the tricks that are being used to make hit music today, basically? Like, you know, any pressure from management, from people, and be like, Devan, we want you to sound like a robot. The Weeknd's doing it. You know what I mean? Any of that?
No, luckily, I think everyone on our team just kind of understands our vision and what we want to do. I think avoiding that, it just comes with like the genre. I think it's less prevalent in kind of like the folk Americana genre.
Thank God.
But also, I think that's a result of writing the songs before producing them. So writing on the instrument and having this, like, a big part of our kind of ethos is having the songs be able to stand alone with just vocals and the main instrument, and then the production is just kind of like beyond. So I think that's like the true test of like authenticity in this song.
Absolutely. It's timeless. It's timeless because, you know, you take a song like Old Town Road, guys, you know what I mean? And he has like 1.5 billion streams, and you say, like, whatever, you know what I mean? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But anyway, Andrew, Pink Shades, new song that you guys came out recently. Stunning lyrics, really inspiring too. I mean, you know, keep trying. I know it never looks so bad, but I can see around the patch she's fighting. And, you know, it deals with depression of a loved one. And it's such a universal message in 2020 as well. Yeah. I mean, everyone, even the strongest willed, have had like mental, like, it's a lot what's happening. Okay. So tell us about it. Like, tell us about it. How did the concept come about? Just a little bit about the birth of that song.
So Cal wrote this one, and he wrote it before like COVID had started or anything like that. And from talking to him, I think he wrote it from the perspective of just being there for somebody essentially, and helping them through a hard time. And yeah, it's been cool to see how that can kind of the meaning and the feeling behind that has kind of broadened, and the whole world is kind of relating to that. And yeah, it's been nice to see how it can be like a little piece of solace and understanding.
Very powerful. It's a very powerful song. And Devan, when you take a song, one of your huge hits, thinking about love, Devan, when do you realize that this song is gonna blow up like it's doing? Is it like during the process when you're like recording it that you know you look at Khaled, you look at Andy, and you're like wink wink, or do you just not know?
We should start winking at each other in the studio. I don't know. Like Andrew said, it's weird because until we can play songs live, they really are just numbers on Spotify. It's kind of hard to like.
Yeah.
You don't feel the response when it's just everything's online. But I mean, I'm glad people are liking it. I think that one felt special to us in the studio for sure. For me personally, it was like my favorite song ever to sing. Just such a fun song to sing, and I think that hopefully came through in the recording, and hopefully
it did.
What kind of it comes across as genuine. So yeah, I can't wait to play it live because then we can hear people sing along to it.
Oh my God, like that song. I'm telling you. I hope you guys are you guys are gonna play that in the Raptors Arena, whatever it's called now, Scotiabank opening or playing. I can see the whole thing. People with their phones in the air. It's something else.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and we were talking about mental illness and Live from Lockdown, November 18th. You guys are playing a show, or you guys already played it and you're replaying it. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. But it's probably like super professional. It's gonna be great. And of course, you know, I think it's like $10 or something. But 100% of the proceeds are gonna go to Change to Mind and Jack.org, two organizations committed to ending the stigma around mental illness. So yeah, Devan, just tell us a little bit about these organizations and the idea to actually take this song to that next level.
Yeah. So basically, it felt really appropriate given the Pink Shades release and given the current situation of the world to kind of pair up with these organizations. One, Jack.org is based in Canada and Bring Change to Mind is based in the US. And both of them kind of have tools and resources, initiatives to promote like healthy conversations surrounding mental health, which I think is especially important right now when everyone's kind of stuck at home sitting with their feelings and maybe don't have the best resources to deal with them. Yeah, so we're really happy to be able to support them.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Great idea. All right, guys, let's talk some side projects, shall we? Andy, Night Shifts.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, so smooth. I love it. I love it. I mean, we're listening to Kicks and Karma earlier, jamming with my production assistant. I mean, unbelievable. Tell us about your side project, Andy. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Night Shifts. I kind of called it that because I kind of started working on it right as we were starting to be a band as Wild Rivers as well. And a lot of the times we'd be doing stuff during the day and I'd come home at night and work on this other weird kind of music. So I called it, I was working the night shift. And yeah, I don't know. It's, I think all of us in the band like a pretty wide array of music and genres and everything. And yeah, for me, it just allows me to get out everything I want to get out and yeah, kind of touch upon all these wider influences.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, it's fantastic. Yeah. Do you sleep, Andy?
Not that much, honestly.
Not that much, right? Okay. I'm just doing the math. 24 hours. Canada, yeah.
No, I get some sleep. I sleep in the morning, but yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, and Devan, your side project, of course, has the name Devan. Great, Devan.
Yeah, super unique name.
No. But listen, you don't need. You know what? Your voice is one. We're on a one name basis with your voice. It's all right. You don't need the Gypsy Canadian. Devan. Awesome. I'm gonna tell people, encourage them to hear a Real Shot because oh my God, what a tune! I mean, the lyrics are just really human and everyone can relate, right? I mean, just remember it's your birthday. It's too personal if I just call. I got a little too close and I put you away. It's just stuff that we all deal with. What can you share about this project, Devan?
So little overview. Yeah, my first solo project is in the middle of being released. It's an EP and it's coming out early next year. And it's kind of more in the pop R&B space. And yeah, it's similar to Andrew. I've always really loved writing pop music and music that doesn't necessarily fit with the band. So it's kind of nice to have the other outlet. And it's just a different creative side than what we do in the band. It's nice to be able to step outside of that. And then that also kind of informs what we do in the band. It's been really fun.
Do you guys think that actually is healthy for the band, for Wild Rivers? Because like recently, of course, Eddie Van Halen died. And we were talking to a lot of people in remembrance of Eddie Van Halen. And of course, Van Halen had a bunch of drama in their lives. And a lot of it had to do with like creative, like liberties. Some people were like, what are you doing? Sammy Hagar is not really, David Lee Roth, a bunch of like all this like stuff. Do you think that this expansion that you and Andy like just get your juices somewhere and then come back home, that's good?
For sure. I think in a lot of different ways, it's really healthy. Like, I think for one, like it allows me at least to like take any ego out of like working with the band. Like my solo project is so self-indulgent. I can sing and write everything that when I'm with the band and when we're writing together, I'm not trying to force myself upon anything or trying to
you let it flow,
work myself in there. It's like I let it flow. And I also think like before being bandmates, we're friends, and it's just awesome to see each other get excited around what they're doing outside of the band. And like I think we learn a lot personally on these solo things, and then bring it back to the band. And I think it's a really good thing.
That's great, man. You guys are like the coolest people ever. No, you like great humans, great talents, the whole thing. Let me ask you guys about something awesome that you guys are doing, and that's quarantine dating stories. You need to copyright this, by the way. You need to copyright this ASAP, and in your next tour in LA, go sell the idea to some network, because it's genius, guys. Oh my God. Like, you guys, tell my audience, you guys go through this pandemic dating stories. It's a shit show out there, guys. Like, I can attest to it. I got divorced in April. Okay. So I know. All right. But like, you guys talked to a girl whose prospect was into puppets, like all these kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about this. Genius.
It was basically it was mostly fun for us, and I feel like we were trying to find ways to kind of lift spirits and engage with our fans in a way that wasn't just trying to promote music all the time, because I think another thing the pandemic has taught us is just like the most important thing is just like connection in some way, and not, it feels so weird to be promoting anything right now when everyone's kind of going through their own battles. So we just thought of it one day and asked if anyone would be interested, and our inbox just got flooded with stories. Like, people were super keen to tell them, and it was so enjoyable to read through them and hear everyone's kind of different experiences with finding love in a COVID age.
Yeah, no, it's such a great concept, guys. We love it. It's on YouTube and on your Instagram too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, guys. You've been so generous with your time. Let me ask you, what music are you guys listening to lately? Like, give our audience like what's on your running, on your workout playlist, what's on the whole thing.
Well, my workout playlist is embarrassing because it's very uncharacteristic. I listen to like hard, intense, like electronic music when I work out.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm listening to a girl named Ryan, Ryann. She just released an EP, and I've been listening to it for a month straight. So I would recommend that.
Okay, that's great. What about you, Andy? What's on your jukebox?
On the jukebox, I've been listening to the new James Blake EP for the last few days. It's been pretty sweet, and I think the whole band was really into the new Phoebe Bridgers album.
Yeah.
A few months ago.
Yeah.
Punisher, fantastic album. Yes, without a doubt. I actually, Phoebe is one of these bands, like you guys, of course, but yeah, I think she would be taking over the world right now.
So good. Oh yeah.
For sure.
There's a few like that. So, but anyway, guys, you guys are amazing. Your music is like a steady upward brew. It's fantastic. And you guys are going to come out of this awesome. Like, I'm telling you right now, stronger than ever, wiser than ever, side projects, well-armed, like an evolved musician. So, absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Of course. Thank you guys for your time, and all the best.
Okay. See you soon.